What's up, guys? Kimus here from Meanwhile the Man Cave. We take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today we are taking a look at another Marvel Select figure. This is the first mutant himself, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse made his first cameo appearance in X Factor number 5 in June of '86 and made his first full appearance in X Factor number 6 in July of that same year. He was created by Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson. The man known as En-Sabah Nur and later would end up becoming Apocalypse was born thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt. He's considered to be the first mutant, and because of his gray skin and blue lips, his people abandoned him as an infant. Baal and his group called the Sandstormers recognize Apocalypse's potential and rescue him. The Sandstormers' creed was survival of the fittest, a creed that Apocalypse would adopt as his own. The time-traveling being known as Rama-Tut takes notice of Apocalypse and sends his general Ozymandias and a small army to recover Apocalypse and take his power as his own. Baal and Apocalypse ended up escaping the destruction of the Sandstormers, but not before Baal is fatally injured. But before dying, Baal reveals to Apocalypse the celestial technology that he discovered from years before. Apocalypse uses the celestial technology to increase his power even further, drive Rama-Tut from Egypt, and drive his goal of survival of the fittest throughout history.
All right, let's take a look at this box here. A little bit of artwork of the villain, of the X-Men villain himself down here. No artwork on the side, more or less just a picture of the figure on the side. And a picture of the figure on the back, along with a description of the comic character. Let's break open this package and take a look at the figure itself. Okay, we got Apocalypse out of this plastic and got the twist ties all cut. Let's take a look at some of the peripherals here. So, one of the attachments for the arm, a rather lethal looking like claw. Looks really good here. Colors are perfect. Big old drill attachment here. Looks like the X-Men are going to be screwed. Big old spiked ball attachment here. And the part where it attaches to the arm right here, so you can angle it here on the hinge, and a couple fist hand attachments. And finally, the mutant himself, Apocalypse. Okay, guys, so let's make sure you plug in the hoses to the back of his hands here, or his forearms, I should say. Let's check out his articulation. We're going to start off with his head. Got your normal left and right motion. A little bit of tilting down. Not a whole lot, but because you don't have a lot of room there within this encasement here. You do have lateral movement with the shoulders. And and forward and back the arm. Just keep in mind, every time you probably position him, this hose is going to pop out of this receptacle here. One thing I do wish is they had made this hose pliable, even if they put like a wire in it or something like that so you could bend it. It's pretty much in a stationary position. So if you look at that, that's the position it's in. You can move it a little bit, but it basically pops back to its original position. So once you get his arms positioned where you want him, you're probably going to have to plug that in after, because it'll just be easier. Otherwise, it's going to be popping out every 5 minutes. So up here between his shoulder and his bicep, you have that movement, which is typical with any of these recent Marvel Select figures, which is definitely a plus, as well as a single elbow joint. All right. As well, at that same elbow joint, you have some twisting there as well. I like that. Again, gives you a little more range for when you're posing the character. Got a hinge at the wrist. Okay. Now, his abdomen, twisting at the abdomen. Minimal crunching, very little, but it's there, as well as a waist joint. So that should give you some variety for posing as well. For the legs, you got some forward, a little back, lateral movement. At the thigh, there is a twist there. I love it when they do that. That gives you some nice variety for leg poses when you do that. You got a single knee joint. But what I like about these Marvel Selects is at the knee, you can also twist the calf a little bit. You know, so that way you can position the foot into a slightly different pose, which is handy. Down here at his feet, and a little back, a little forward. Still, these lack the toe joint that the McFarlanes have. If they'd add that, it'd be a nice variety. You've also got the twisting here at the ankle a bit. A little bit too of the angling of the foot, which could be handy when you're, if you want to use that as a plant foot. But the other side should be the same. So if I find anything different when we pose him, I will let you know. So let's get this guy into some poses, interchange some of the accessories, and I'll tell you what I think. Okay. Another cool thing about this figure is its height. So this thing is just a little over 9 inches tall, which is cool because Apocalypse is a larger character in the comics. And with these Marvel Select figures, you're still getting at the standard price for a Marvel Select. This would be a mega fig in the McFarlane line, and they charge a lot more for it. I mean, we did a Killer Croc a little while back. That figure was smaller than this, and they were charging more out the gate with it, and it didn't even come with nearly as many accessories. So there's a lot of value with this figure as well. Looks pretty cool with the attachment on here. Right now we have the drill. So glad they did the standard comic version of Apocalypse, not the lame Power Rangers version that was in the movie. There's a lot of nice details on this. I just think the Marvel Select does a great job and good value for the money. Now with the claw attachment on there, the peripherals do add a lot to the character. You can get some nice stances with him. And now with the mace hand. You can just get so much variety with this character. Another quality release from Marvel Select. So for my display purposes, I'll probably have him with the claw hand. Now, if only they would release his 4 horsemen, that would be pretty awesome. Especially with a 90s Archangel. That would kick some serious butt. So, my final thoughts on this. Yeah, you definitely should get this, I think, if you're an Apocalypse fan or an X-Men fan in general. I think this figure rocks. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. Come back for the next episode of Meanwhile in the Man Cave. I'll talk to you guys later.